Welcome back to the Classic Soap Operas podcast. Today, we're heading back to February 1st, 1985, for the next episode in the Recap Archive series of Days of Our Lives. Let's dive in.
Okay, imagine this. You know how sometimes you wish you could just hit pause on life, maybe rewind to a specific moment, and then just live through a really wild day, seeing everything unfold?
Oh, yeah, like being a fly on the wall for all the drama, the secrets, maybe the weird coincidences. See how it all connects.
Exactly. Well, since we can't actually do that, we've taken a good look at the details from one specific day, February 1st, 1985. And we're basically going to walk you through it.
Think of it as your chance to catch up on absolutely everything that went down that day. Like you were right there, but, without the actual stress of being there.
Right. Our mission, really, is to guide you through this single, pretty packed day. We'll uncover the surprising connections, the critical moments, stuff you might not even realize was happening all at the same time. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. And honestly, the day kicks off, well, surprisingly normal, almost mundane even.
For 5 minutes, maybe. We see Marlena first, trying to set up a dinner date. Seems simple enough, right?
You'd think. But even this little moment has a wrinkle. She's calling Jimmy Porterfield. Her evening just unexpectedly freed up.
And she suggests meeting him at the Park Cafe. Why? Because she claims she has to swing by the hospital first for an emergency call.
Uh-huh. And she adds this little self-deprecating line, something about not being much of a cook.
It's interesting, that little detail. Sort of managing expectations, maybe.
Could be. Meanwhile, you get this really sweet, quick domestic scene. Beau's dropping the twins off at Mom and Pop's, getting them settled in for the night. Just a quiet, loving moment.
Yeah, a real contrast to what's already simmering elsewhere. And thank you, contrast. Hope. She's at the police academy.
Right. She's totally exhausted from final exams, but she's also really optimistic. Looking forward to a skating lesson later just to unwind.
And her uncle, Abe, he actually tells her how proud he is that she stuck with the academy, especially because she had a bit of a rough start there.
So you've got these snapshots, right? Everyday life, people making dinner plans, family stuff, working towards goals.
And then, bam, reality check. The worry about Melissa just crashes back in. It's been hanging over them.
Yeah, this is where it gets pretty tense. We find Pete in, well, a really difficult conversation, and he drops a bombshell. He saw Melissa days ago.
Not just saw her.
No, he gave her $90 and a ride to the bus station.
Wow, $90.
Yeah. Apparently she was heading to New York, chasing that dream of being a dancer. But Pete admits he told her to go to Maggie's instead, but he doesn't think she was really listening.
And the family's reaction. Oh, man. You can almost feel the shock waves. Hope, Lucas, and then later Alice and Mickey, they're just
stunned.
Floored that Pete knew this and didn't breathe a word sooner. And probably hurt that Melissa went to him instead of her own family.
Totally. And Pete, you can tell he's feeling the heat. He feels unfairly blamed.
Well, from his point of view, he thought he was helping. Trying to stop her from hitchhiking, keep the cops out of it. He probably thought he did the right thing then. But now he's facing the fallout. It's a classic no-win situation for him, really.
Definitely stuck. Okay, so let's pivot from that family drama because as the day moves into the mid-afternoon, things start to feel, well, darker, more sinister.
Yeah, this is where we get Megan Hathaway. She's visiting her father, and she's practically vibrating with excitement, gleeful almost.
Tonight's the night, she says, just like that. And the target.
Hope Williams?
Of course. Megan's goal is chillingly simple. Get Hope out of the picture so she doesn't stand in the way of her and Beau.
And her father. He's cautious, right? He warns her to be careful.
He does, but there's this sort of underlying approval there. It's creepy. And Megan, her confidence is off the charts. She's convinced her plan is fail-proof.
And she actually brags that she learned everything from him, calling him the master.
The master. That just screams manipulation, doesn't it? Like a long, dark history there.
Definitely. And before she leaves, she mentions needing to do some preparation for Hope's adventure tonight. Just dripping with menace.
So while that's happening, we also check back in with Jimmy Porterfield. Remember him? The dinner date guy.
Yeah, he's reporting back. But not to a friend about his date plans.
No, he's reporting to Stefano DiMera. And this is where you realize, okay, that dinner date wasn't just about dinner.
Stefano's using Jimmy. Using him to get access to Marlena. It's all part of some bigger plan.
And Stefano makes it clear any little piece of information about Marlena is vital. Crucial.
So Marlena thinks she's just rescheduling a date, maybe feeling a little awkward about it.
While she's actually under surveillance for Stefano's plot. It's wild.
And what's interesting, too, Stefano just casually mentions, the coming storm, putting chains on the truck. It feels like a throwaway line.
But it hints at more trouble, doesn't it? Like physical obstacles on top of all the scheming. The environment itself is kind of reflecting the tension.
Exactly. So as the day turns into evening, several of these characters, maybe unexpectedly, start heading towards the same place.
The body connection gym.
Pete's there first, probably trying to work off some steam after that whole Melissa conversation. Still feeling attacked by the family,
Larry Welch is also there, and he gets a mysterious letter delivered to him in the gym.
Odd. And then another guy shows up, Leopold Bronski.
Yeah, Bronski. He asks us about membership, but it seems like he's more interested in finding some privacy. Pete gets him signed up pretty quickly.
And this is where the day takes a sharp turn from personal drama and, villainous plots
to something globally terrifying. Bronski and Larry end up talking in the hot tub.
The hot tub. Of all places, what are they even talking about?
Well, Bronski starts by saying he's a friend of Larry's father, Victor Shorvet.
Okay. Victor Shorvet.
And apparently Victor is driven by this intense bitterness. He wants revenge. Revenge against America.
Why? What happened?
For how he was treated years ago, accused of being a Soviet spy, traded away. He feels completely betrayed by the country.
Okay, feeling wronged is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But how does revenge factor in? How does Victor get it?
Victor's not just bitter, he's a brilliant scientist. And he's created three prisms that, when combined, produce incredible results.
Prisms. And let me guess who needs them.
Ding, ding, ding. Stefano DiMera, the guy who's dying from that brain tumor.
Right. He thinks these prisms are his only hope for a cure.
Exactly. He's already managed to get 2 of them. He's desperate for the 3rd.
So Bronski's bringing the 3rd prism to Larry to save Stefano.
He's ensuring it gets delivered, yes. But here's the twist. The horrifying gut punch twist. Victor didn't just make a potential cure. He altered the 3rd prism.
Altered how? What did he do?
It's currently frozen solid, but once it starts to thaw, it begins attracting heat, and then it starts changing colors through a very specific sequence.
Okay, what sequence?
Light blue, then dark blue, green, yellow, orange, and finally, red.
And when it turns red, don't tell me.
It explodes just a few minutes after turning red.
Wow. Okay, so it's a bomb. A bomb disguised as a cure meant for Stefano. A very twisted final revenge from Victor.
If only it were that simple. Bronski makes it terrifyingly clear. This is much, much bigger than just killing Stefano.
How much bigger?
This bomb, its power is immense, devastating. When it detonates, Bronski says it will completely obliterate the entire city of Salem.
The whole city.
And not just Salem, most of the state, gone, wiped out. Killing everyone.
Everyone. My God. So Victor's revenge isn't just personal or even just against the government. It's total annihilation. Indiscriminate.
Pretty much. And Bronski is giving Larry this incredibly urgent warning. Get out. Flee. Take anyone you care about and run before the eye show.
The eye show.
That's his code for the color countdown on the prism. He insists the plan is set. It's irreversible. Nothing can stop it now. And anyone who knows the truth is in mortal danger.
You can't even imagine what Larry must be feeling sitting there in a hot tub hearing this apocalyptic news.
Absolutely horrifying. So while that is unfolding in the steamy confidentiality of the gym hot tub, let's quickly check back on some of the other threads from earlier in the day.
Right, Jimmy Porterfield. Poor guy's still waiting at the Park Cafe for Marlena.
And he's getting more and more confused, probably worried. He eventually calls the hospital.
Only to find out she hasn't been there all day. That whole emergency call, completely fake.
Which makes Stefano's earlier comment about Marlena sending Jimmy on a wild goose chase suddenly click, ominously.
Yeah. And meanwhile, back at Marlena's actual house, the power goes out. Pitch black.
And Marlena herself is outside, struggling with her car. It won't start. She's trying to figure out what to do in the dark, maybe getting out her AAA card or something.
And then Stefano finds her inside her dark house.
It's incredibly creepy. He acts surprised to see her there, but then makes these loaded remarks, clearly implying he cut the power and confirming he knew the hospital thing was bogus.
Very clever, Mrs. Brady, he says, sending poor Jimmy out on a wild goose chase.
She must be terrified. You realize he's orchestrated this whole thing just to isolate her, to get her alone.
He's completely controlling her situation right then. But, okay, back at the body connection, things are still happening on a more mundane level.
Relatively speaking. Hope finishes her skating lesson and heads over to the gym. And she finds Pete there, still obviously stewing about the whole Melissa situation and feeling blamed.
Hope tries to smooth things over, but you can tell he's still pretty raw about it. They do have a quieter moment, though. Talk about her beauty school dreams.
Yeah, and Pete actually agrees to let her practice cutting his hair sometime. A little slice of normalcy amidst the chaos.
And then Bo shows up. He finds Pete and tells him he really ought to apologize to Hope for teasing her earlier about wanting to be a cop. And he says, let's go find her right now.
Pete agrees. Bo heads off first, presumably to find Hope.
So just picture this scene. You've got Pete and Hope maybe starting to relax a tiny bit, talking about haircuts. Bo is on his way to join them.
And just steps away, maybe in the next room, maybe still dripping from the hot tub. Larry Welch is reeling from the news that a bomb capable of destroying the entire state is on its way.
Engineered by his dad's friend.
Yeah.
For the guy who needs it for his brain tumor.
Oh.
The layers are just insane.
It's an incredible convergence, isn't it? All these people completely oblivious to this massive, world-altering threat that was literally just discussed nearby.
What a day. Seriously, you go from awkward dinner arrangements and family worrying about a missing teenager
to a chilling revenge plot involving Hope, a rival planning who knows what, a woman basically trapped by a master manipulator,
and a city-destroying bomb hidden inside a prism being discussed in a health club hot tub.
It's truly remarkable how many key players ended up crossing paths, however unknowingly, at that gym. Hope, Pete, Larry, Brodsky.
And how close some of them were to maybe overhearing something or just being in the wrong place when things eventually go down, completely unaware.
And we're left with so many cliffhangers, right? Melissa's still out there somewhere. We don't know where or if she's okay.
Megan's plan against Hope is presumably still in motion for tonight.
Marlena is isolated with Stefano, who seems to be pulling everyone's strings. Jimmy's bewildered, realizing he was just a pawn.
And Bo and Pete are heading right towards the gym, the very place where this catastrophic secret about the prison bomb was just revealed.
It really hammers home how, in this world, the intensely personal dramas and these, huge, almost unbelievable threats are constantly swirling around each other, just moments away from colliding.
So as the night gets deeper and that storm Stefano mentioned is brewing, all these secrets, all these schemes, they're all converging, with a potential bomb ticking, sinister plans moving forward, and loved ones either missing or in immediate danger. Who is actually in the most peril by the end of this one single day?
And how is it even possible for one 24-hour period to contain so much happening all at once?
Definitely something to think about. The sheer density of it is astonishing.
That's a wrap for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like and comment for more episodes like this. Thanks for listening.